Hello and welcome to Talking Flutes Bitesize, the much shorter 10-minute pod sandwiched between the longer weekly podcasts by me, Jean-Paul Wright, and my co-host, Clare Southworth. The flute, as we know, and this is a flute podcast after all, is such a beautiful and versatile instrument. One important aspect of flute playing is articulation, which involves controlling the initiation and termination of notes to create distinct and precise musical phrases. Now, I know that we've done some pods on the subject of tonguing and why articulation is not an easy one-size-fits-all technique for every piece and musical genre. However, we've received several questions on how to tongue fast in the past couple of weeks, and this next 10 minutes, whilst it is by no means definitive, and let's face it, it's a bite-sized short pod, that said, let's just jump into the world of fast tonguing and see where it takes us. Double and triple tonguing are advanced articulation techniques used by flute players to play fast and intricate passages with clarity and speed. In this very brief pod, we'll look at the techniques and exercises for mastering double and triple tonguing, including the basic principles, methods, and strategies to develop proficiency in these skills. Double and triple tonguing are techniques used to articulate repeated or rapid notes in a musical passage. They involve using the tongue to create a sequence of articulated sounds, allowing for clear and precise execution of fast passages. In its basic form, double tonguing is the use of two different syllables, typically ta and ka. So that's ta, ta, and ka, ka, or da, da, or ga, ga. So that is ta, ka, da, ga, to produce a rapid succession of notes. Triple tonguing is the use of three different syllables, often the ta and the ka and the ta, and then the da, the ga, and the da to articulate notes in even faster passages. So let's just go over that again, shall we? Double tonguing, you use two different syllables, typically ta, ka, so that's ta-ka, 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 or da-ga, 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 to produce a rapid succession of notes. And triple tonguing is the use of three different syllables, and we do it differently to brass players, but we use ta-ka-ta, ta-ka-ta, or da-ga-da, da-ga-da. And often brass players will go ta-ta-ka, or da-da-ga. So let's just keep it for this moment at ta-ka-ta and da-ga-da. Double and triple tonguing are essential skills for flute players, especially in genres such as classical music, jazz and contemporary, where fast and virtuosic passages are common. These techniques allow us to play intricate runs, scales and arpeggios with speed, accuracy and clarity. Mastery of double and triple tonguing expands a flute player's technical capabilities, enabling them to tackle challenging repertoire and perform with confidence and control. To develop proficiency in double and triple tonguing, it is important to understand the basic principles that underline these techniques. And here are some of the key points to keep in mind. The first one is proper breath control. It's important to have a steady and controlled airflow to sustain the sound whilst using the tongue for articulation. Maintain a steady stream of air and avoid puffing or gasping between notes. Tucka, 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 dugga, dugga, dugga. The tongue should be positioned lightly against the roof of the mouth, just behind the upper teeth, with the tip of the tongue resting behind the lower teeth as I do it, as I speak. Keeping the tongue relaxed and supple allows for quick and precise articulation. So the articulation syllables that we've just spoken about. Double tonguing typically uses the ta and the ka, T-A-K-A syllables, whilst triple tonguing, as we've just spoken, employs ta, ka, ta and da, ga, da. But it's very important, however, that you experiment with different syllables, consonants and vowels to find the ones that work best for you in terms of your clarity, speed and control. You see, ta has a very different sound and attack to da, just like ka sounds different to ga. You will need to coordinate your finger movements with your tonguing to achieve smooth and seamless execution during a piece. Practice combining the fingerings of the notes with the articulation syllables to develop coordination and synchronization between the tongue and fingers. Let's face it, you may be able to play really, really fast on one note, but to be able to get the synchronicity whilst you're moving your fingers is another matter entirely. Double and triple tonguing requires time and practice to develop proficiency. Make sure you start slow and use simple exercises, gradually increasing the speed and complexity of the passages as you gain your confidence and control. There are several methods and strategies that flute players can employ to develop proficiency in double and triple tonguing, so here are just some approaches, again not exhausted, but just a few. Isolated articulation exercises. And what you do here is you start with an exercise that focuses solely on the double and triple tonguing technique. Begin with slow and simple patterns and gradually increase the speed and complexity of the exercises as you become more comfortable. Practice articulating single notes with a ta and a ka. So that's ta, ka for double tonguing and ta, ka, ta syllables for triple tonguing. Pay attention to the clarity, speed and control of your articulation, making sure that each note is articulated cleanly and evenly. Now don't forget, as we start, it's not about speed, it's about clean and even articulation. Incorporate double and triple tonguing into your scale and arpeggio studies, focusing on maintaining a steady and controlled airflow, coordinating the tongue and fingers, and gradually increasing the speed and complexity of the passages. This will help you develop fluency and versatility in using double and triple tonguing in various musical contexts. Many flute etudes and technical studies already incorporate double and triple tonguing passages to help flute players develop their articulation skills. Use these etudes and technical studies that specifically focus on double and triple tonguing and practice them diligently to improve your technique. Pay attention to the articulation syllables, the breath control, the finger coordination, and overall musicality as you work through these exercises. Apply double and triple tonguing techniques to repertoire pieces that require fast and intricate passages. Working on actual repertoire pieces will really help you to develop practical skills that can be applied to real musical performances. Practicing with a metronome is a favourite method for many teachers to encourage their students to develop precise timing and control in double and triple tonguing. Start with a slow tempo and gradually increase the speed as you become more comfortable. Practice with different subdivisions of the beat, such as eighth notes, triplets and 16th notes to improve your rhythmic accuracy and speed. One area not to forget is to focus on relaxation and efficiency, because I see a lot of people, well, I'm sure we've all seen a lot of people that are tonguing really, really fast and they become quite tense and their body sort of closes in. So it's important that we focus on the relaxation. Avoid tension in the jaw, neck and shoulders, and focus on keeping your tongue relaxed and supple. Practice tongue exercises that promote relaxation and efficiency, such as flutter tongue exercises, which is when you flutter your tongue between your teeth. Tongue trills and rapid articulation exercises to develop greater control and speed in your double and triple tonguing. The great thing about this is that you could be walking down the street, down the high street, to a station or sitting on the train, and you can just quietly practice it. Experiment with different syllables. You see, while ta and ka are commonly used for double tonguing and ta ka ta for triple tonguing, different syllables may work better for different flutists, obviously based around their language. So experiment with different syllables such as da ga and tu ku to find the ones that work best for you in terms of clarity, speed and control. It may be helpful to practice different syllables in isolation and then gradually incorporate them into your repertoire of articulation techniques. And finally, if you can't work it out and you are of the TikTok generation, then here is a hack, a genuine hack. Tick, tock, done with the accent on the syllables, gives you double tonguing. And adding T to the end of tick, T, tock, T, gives you the triple tonguing. So that's tick, tock for double tonguing, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. And then add a T at the end, gives you triple tonguing, tickety, tockety, tickety, tockety, tickety, tockety, tickety, tockety. But make sure you keep this one secret from your teachers. They won't like it or won't understand it. So in conclusion, mastering double and triple tonguing on the flute requires consistent practice, patience, and most of all, perseverance. It's a complex skill that requires coordination between the tongue, the fingers, and your breath control. By understanding the basic principles of double and triple tonguing, employing effective methods and strategies, and then practicing diligently, you can develop proficiency in these techniques and expand your technical capabilities on the flute. And when that happens, Paganini Caprice number 5 just opens up and becomes so much easier. With consistent practice and dedication, you can ensure that tonguing will no longer be an issue for you. Talking Flutes and Talking Flutes Extra are podcast productions by the Trevor James Flute Company. For more information, visit trevorjamesflutes.com.